Hi, it's me again. Do you remember me from the last video? I know it was about months ago because I had a lot of things to do, trying to learn, and now this time we're trying to know that we gotta talk about how to think better, how to think better. The last video talked about to wake up from all the lies, all those stupidity, and now you need to talk about how to think, how there's a ways between it. One, I'm trying to tell you that there's many ways, but has already know to see it. One for sure is things that see around you, like from trees, skies, and sun. Is actually a ways that I'm trying to explain, include while you're watching video right now, and the rocks, of course. That's part one, the basic thing I'm trying to tell you. And another one is actually to use all the creativity steps. To use. If there's a tree I'm gonna touch, I'll just try to touch it. Like that. We know that. We all humans we all now know that. Well, the things I'm gonna try and explain is something that is actually wrong there. First, because I think that you just keep copying from other people's lies, for other people's opinions, from the news, to which is actually is the basics to understand, to the government indoctrination camps. Think we need government, all those sorts. That needs to be addressed. All the things you learn from the cult, from all of society, you need to learn what you see around you, and use it to survive. Use your mind to survive. And one thing I'm gonna try to tell you, that governments never exist. Taxes, police are never exist. Also, wars are never exist. This is not a state. This is nature itself. This is a system itself of nature. There's no New York State. There's no New Jersey. There's no United States of America. Those stuff doesn't exist. It exists in the name of its heartland. Is made in nature. That exists, and communities as well. If people sell there, that's probably real as well. That's probably one of the misunderstandings I'm trying to tell you about. That's the point I'm trying to say this. Now the next thing I'm trying to say to you is that since you know how to do, sorry, I put my clothes to. Since you know what I'm doing is walking around and making video. That is actually because we're creative and know what I'm saying. But to you, I think it's by doing something that you like to do, regardless of all being told to repeat in cycles, which is that's not how to think right. One I'm trying to tell you is to underestimate the 5 steps. The 5 steps between. Sorry, just trying to clean my camera. To underestimate those 5 steps. One, not underestimate. I mean to understand the 5 steps. One step I'm trying to tell you is to see things around you, like we talked about, which is definitely what I'm discuss with trees, and use it to your thinking how to survive. The 2 is actually to use a way to determine situations, like geometry, for example. As you learn from a government indoctrination camp, which is all they taught you one way about design the line. A real design the line, as you know, is designed from this point rock. See, from this point rock to the tree. That is actually real design, and it's called this distance. It's sometimes be 90-degree angle, 180 degree, like straight out to 360. And same thing with this to this. You want me to see me go straight? Like that. That's go straight. But when in reality, that's not how it seems that way. And you talk about parallel lines. There's always be parallel lines, straight lines in A, B, C, and D. And there's many ways to understand that, to make the situation. And it has to be a painter or building technology. That's part of the basics tool for your mind to use your mindset to build and do. There's no straight line between its distance. And sometimes goes the opposite direction into a hallway, or make it a longer distance. The same thing with cars, hiking, even hiking deep woods. Same thing with skiing. There's no straight in skiing. There's no straight in boats because the ocean totally pulls you in different directions. Same thing with the planet Earth. Life is not where you go straight line, as we know. Life is about a separate race between its point A and point D, and there's in turn be like a trigonometry movement. Yes, if you go straight line, it's mostly but done by is how direction you're moving. And when it gets to the situation, it was not go straight as you think. Same thing with cars, planes. Things will not be straight. Things are going to be around or be like a trigonometry, like I said before. Same thing that goes to painting when you're trying to design and measure it. Because we live in a 3D dimensional world or 4D. It depends how hard is it. So that's the views right here. I know it's nice. And that's actually chapter. That's actually step 1. Life. But step 2 is what I'm talking about, world directions. But now step 3 is to think what is real inside your mind. If you know that, as everyone knows. But if look at something that is fake, something that doesn't exist, like I said before, with government, police, taxes, those stuff doesn't exist unless you see in your eye. In general, politicians doesn't exist. It's by a man in a suit who thinks really stupid to do a little crap, and people are dumb enough to follow that crap. That is actually because they believe things as fake. They don't use their creativity away, has been told about. I know they see things around like I see before, but they don't see in the right direction. They see in the wrong direction. They just want to keep on board, think that laws is that from politicians, which is fake. Laws by people are fake. Well, real laws is actually how we move, how the planet Earth moves, how the planet moves, how the planet mates, how we mate. That is real laws, and how we act too. Same thing with emotion issues. So it was universe of laws is a real law, not government, not politician laws. Those laws are fake laws. So if you believe in that, get the mind out, get that thing out of your minds for sure. And it's gonna do a cult, other than statism. Get that out of your mind too. That's nothing to do with real life as well. Get that out of here in general. Which is actually that's coverage of the last video. In chapter 4 and step 4 is gotta deal with doing. It's got to do with doing something. How to become productive. It's like me, you make a YouTube video and figure things how to do it too, which is also a big piece of cake. And 5 steps is to see things that surround you, which is trees, like I said before. That's 5 steps. I'll get understand. If you understand those, then you're good to go. I use all that stuff. And chapter 1 is all, yeah. I forgot all the steps. I forgot the names of it, but we just move on. So you know what's going on between all the steps. Those 5 things that you need to understand. And now that comes with the government thing. How to say it's a government doesn't function without society, which is actually not true. Means that you just don't pay attention what I've been saying last video. Because I don't tell you about thinking. I talk about steps between responsibility and action. I said about the last video, but this video I talk about thinking. How to think better. Things you see. Which is a basic, that's what Ancestors is doing. Which is really easy. It's a piece of cake. Yes. Is that easy? It's that what about laws? How to protect laws from people doing stupid things? You gotta do people themselves. Okay? It's gotta do with people themselves. There's no government doing shit. That thing doesn't exist. Police officer doesn't exist. There's police of community, of course, but there's no state police. There's no border patrol. They don't exist. Exists is people are pretty stupid and retarded to believe in that thing. They don't understand what really I'm talking about. That's gonna hit back to me too, but I'm trying to tell you that they see things as wrong direction. I know I'm sorry saying this, but if you understand the 5 steps, then you should stop believing in the cold crap. That's one thing I'm trying to expose. And what about society about? That's one thing I'm trying to expose. Our next thing I'll talk about chaos. Chaos is caused by human action. I don't care if it's anarchy or government, and chaos is done by itself. It's that by nature of will, done by human action. Even government is human action. It's done by chaos. And anarchy, that's where we live in. And this is anarchy. What I'm doing is anarchy. There's no laws to prevent me to do the YouTube video. Unless people believe in things. Unless people don't listen to what I'm saying. So society will function even without government. Society function when they're seeing things, how to protect themselves from certain things that happen to them, which is environment. That's the ways I'm trying to tell you about. The life is really easy. What makes it difficult is human actions. We're trying to judge people over nothing. That makes it very difficult. You think that we need that stuff? Well, the thing I've been talking about, the statism, is all about political authority. It's all about judging. That's a cult of judging. That make things much harder for people to live, thanks to all the misinformation and things you see. Same that goes to U.S. dollars. You think U.S. dollars is real money? In general, they're not real money. Real money that you guys see is value of its money, of itself. That is real money, which is called bartering. Also, bartering comes with money. Money comes with civilization to be easy to be found. Money can be also interesting, like steel, iron, cars, wheel, textile, cotton. That's money also. So there's many ways to do that. How to make this environment much easier. Because US dollars is a fake piece of crap. Money is nothing but just a piece of paper with numbers. That's not really money. If you keep believing that thing, then you never, ever doesn't have intelligence, understand the 5 steps. Never. So that's what I'm trying to tell people, is to understand what I'm saying. For the last video, it's all about is responsibility step to believe something is fake. Now this time talk about how to think clearly to themselves. I know I keep repeating sentences. I try to tell you that is a way to function right, where things is going on inside my mind to real life, and it is really that simple. In general, it's very easy. If the economy collapses, there's a way to survive without it. If there's no food on the table, it's growing your food, getting some garden. If you don't know how to, just figure out. That's probably one thing that no one ever get, is to figure things out without copying from other people, without copying from other people's space of indoctrination slaves. So math equation is a perfect tool for people to keep copying from others' information, which is not what learning is all about. But some of it may be true, real. Same thing with science. And science is a misunderstanding concept of what's life today. So science is all about something lies, as you know, especially one from NASA, which is I definitely disagree with what I've been said. First thing first, we don't see anything in space unless we're in outer space. The things that we do see outer space that is real is the sun and the planets. You say they keep the Earth functioning. That is real. I think that is real. But black holes, neutron stars, or any other spooky boogeyman pulling fake things like the NASA, that the government criminals, fake things in space, doesn't exist. Because I don't see it that happens. I don't see it. I don't see black holes. I don't see neutron stars. No one sees it. It's fake. I don't think universal law carried that amount of gravity that no light even escape in entire universe of structures. Even scientists agree. Some scientists agree with what I've been saying, that black holes shouldn't exist. Not just that. It's all about many other ways to estimate. You talk about gravity. I don't know if gravity is real or not. It determines how fast you move and how you think gravity is real. Well, I think gravity is gonna be real when you're on this blank magnetic field of holding something from the outside of its cores that have enough power, have enough energy, have enough power, enough structures to hold its atmosphere and its shields that cause y'all to walk and standing. And that is real, by the way. I don't know why they call gravity. And gravity doesn't exist in space, as well as speed of light doesn't exist in space. Speed of light is close to how fast we're going in each planet and each direction of its other planetary and stars movement. That's what speed of light you go to. But it doesn't really exist that much when you're out of space because we've never been there. First things first. Second thing, the technology doesn't get this far because of central banks trying to fake things and stealing people's life into giant communist police state. As we know, that's going to be worse than Roman Empire itself. And because of people don't understand what I've been saying with 5 steps. Due to that, and due to government has expand power. Or stupid idiots expand power to do fake things that gonna kill millions of people. So that caused all the technologies to change a little bit. Mostly from cars, because by Rockefellers, I've been researching about that. It's real. To a Rothschild, they know how to use the money and manipulate the systems. Which is real because the Federal Reserve note does exist due to the Federal Reserve note with the $1 bill. That determines existence, and there's a human with the all-seeing eye, which is proof fact that there exists. All right. So keep that in mind. You think that doesn't exist? Well, it does exist, because you listen from Olocol and things that's fake. So the reason why I talk trying to wake you up in last video. So this video I'm trying to teach you how to think clearly to yourselves, so you have a much better future. If you want to build technology, it is not by government indoctrination camp and colleges to teach you all the fake information and math equations to trying to manipulate the technologies. It's all about creativity, design, build. If you want to draw lines and make objects that change things, go ahead and use numbers to determine its values, which is actually basic math that goes with its equation, which is very easy to do it. It's not easy when someone copies from other people's opinions. That's not easy. That's not thinking. That's what math we know today from colleges and textbooks is about to copy from other math equations, which is not how it works. So that's caused technology not being that advanced that much. It's all about things you see. So that's probably ways how to estimate the system and trying to see things that you can change the world. All right. So fourth thing is the language. Language is actually a main point for us to speak, to communicate, to use these things that is actually been spoken, like Spanish, English, Russian, Portugal, Italian, Hebrew. Is caused by cultures of will to build a language so we can survive upon itself. Or people create their own language, their own culture, have no problems with that. Have no problems with that. So English, Spanish, Italian, they're real. Or trying to create, like I said before. There's many ways to do or get over to see things that you can do. You think you cannot stop the system? There's many ways to stop it. And now, if more people understand up and say it with this video and last video, then you know what's going on, how to protect yourself from certain things. If there's any violence, it's self-defense. And never call the police because those stuff doesn't exist. No one's gonna protect you except in the environment you're on. and yourself, and you mind yourself too. If someone's trying to kill you, just self-defense. Especially you're a man. And calling the cop is mostly for pussies. If I'm trying to say, it's mostly for pussies and stupid bitches are doing that shit. If you get some help, get some people who knows how to do public safety that closes nearby you. It'll be from somewhere else, or people who is an expert on security. As you call it, security. That's the real safety word. And that safety I'm trying to tell you is not a point to you at all. It's a point in your cycles, because life requires dangerous. It requires it to become a much better man, to a much better person. Because nature is itself requires use danger to do things. Everywhere, everything's requires danger. The safety, you should be that thing that the mind that should be out of your mind too. So that makes you sick too. Safety, being clean all the time too. That makes you sick too, because your body needs bacteria to immune itself to live longer. So that's actually ways that I'm trying to explain. So anything you be taught in government indoctrination camp, those high schools, middle schools, those stuff, don't listen to them. Never. Or your parents tell you to be government. Don't listen to them, because these doesn't understand the 5 basics of life. These people are just a bunch of really same brainwashed zombies. And they're not mentally knowledgeable people, if I'm trying to say to you. Because those 5 steps is a piece of cake. Piece of cake that you should know. There's no such thing, like I said, there's no such thing as government. There's no such thing as borders. There's no such thing as laws from the politicians and government. Those stuff are being programmed to you to change your mind to believe in that shit. It was stupid people who believe the stupid cult, and causing a lot of problems to other people. That's probably the answer I'm trying to tell you about, is that if more people understand that more people has to understand what is fake, what is not what they're seeing, what actually being bandaged beneath their eyes, to be chained inside the brain. That's to someone who holds it. And that's indoctrination camps a perfect example. And the cops were still from the government too, like giving electricity from the system, the food from the system. I also make people think that way as well. Unless you push yourself hard enough to think those or unless you push yourself hard enough to believe things that you've seen, which is actually easy way to deal when it's concerned walking and moving. So as you said, what about money? Money's got consequent nature, not consequent Federal Reserve printing machine. It's not. So if there's a danger, if there's a way we need to address it, I think you should do it. And think for yourself how to think of ways to around it. One is actually the economic collapse, the wars, or other action, hurricanes, earthquakes. There's many ways to survive. There's many ways to survive around this environment like that. Even mass extinction too. There's a ways as well. Volcanoes, natural disasters, human violence. There's always a ways to around it. There's no calling the cops. There's no government reaction. There is doing. As only is doing. And start think about beneath yourself. It's only that. There's no force of somewhere else, because those stuff doesn't exist inside your brain of others' force. It's on your own force, on yourself. That's actually one I'm trying to expose. That thinking of believing something that is real. So, you think that the society is going to create violence without government, which is actually a fake. That's actually a cold and fake thing that you believe in. There's many ways society function without government are actually turned to be one of the safest places on the earth. Once I understand and found information is in Mexico. One town in Mexico, no Turan. Those times the town they already did well on. on his anarchy by kicking out the police and politicians because of all the violence. They're just trying to suffer reform, and they know what I've been saying about with 5 steps, and they kick the police and politicians out because they understand their creativity are thinking, and Trump want to save his place in Mexico and probably the entire world. And yes. So there's one way. Another way, there's tons another way that there's society without violence and without government in many histories. And they feel much safer too. And much more respectable, much more talented, much more happy, friendly people who know, and much more intelligent people who don't have much force on other people's will. So that is actually good to explain. If you have government vote with put force on people's mindset with a chain in their head and believe things that's fake, then cause more violence, more destruction, and more deaths. And that cause millions of genocides. And please, that's I'm trying to explain to you. There's no other force in people's mind. There's force in beneath yourself while you see around with all the things I've been said before. So that is all a fact. That is actually a fact. If you can't understand the need government, then I think you have serious mental issues. Serious mental issue how to think. If you think we still need government, that is a mental issues. If you're already watching this video, because things are actually there's many ways to explain this. I think that yes. So I didn't mean to say that. I'm trying to say this. It doesn't mean I'm trying to say that. It means that you have trust issues. You have comfort zone issues. Don't want to move on. You have a lot of negativity issues. You have a lot of judging issues. You don't want to live in the truth. You want to live in the Ponzi scheme society of change your mind and cover your eyes beneath yourself and your entire future in your present day existence. That is actually one I'm trying to give in. I didn't mean to call things stupid. I didn't call things mentally retarded or challengeable. I tried to put an example of how to explain what's going on today. Last video, yes. So if you want to learn more video, there's tons of them. One BitChute. Yeah, as we know, one is actually this list that's going on other than me. And one is going to talk about interview with people who knows they're doing what they're seeing. That's one thing. And second thing is actually a financial discussion and learning. And third is we got to do it a reporter who also doing his job of seeing things, of his creativity, not copying from other people's shit. Which is what his learning is all about. So there's many other ways to learn more information, and reading the books too about what is actually real truth. And reading actually be helpful for you. If you read anything that's got to do with mainstream media, then it's all fake, it's all piece of garbage and doesn't exist. If you read something that's fake, then don't believe in it. Okay? So that's probably the way I'm trying to tell you. I know I've been a month, but life is pretty hard. When you know what you're doing. And best thing to do is to use your mind. Reason why I'm trying to work so hard. Trying to make the comfort zone to doing something, to education, which is not easy. That's not an easy step. Well, life is about challenging. Once you take the challenge, then you become a much better person. Which is what I'm trying to do right now. Alright? So I think this is it for now. This is actually a second video. It's about thinking of his creativity. How to use. So next video is all about is all about, I can't remember. It's all about when, we'll see with the next video. But this one, and that is actually the techniques that you need to wake up. If you disagree what I'm saying, then go ahead. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, yes. If you disagree, what I've been saying, then it's okay. But have your opinions about what you seen and what you consciousness is all about. Don't just copy from other people's. Don't use force with violence. What you're trying to talk about in this video. That's got to do with all the things I've been saying before. So that's all I can say. I hope you're learning. I didn't mean to say that anyway. Just focus about yourself to help you become successful. All right. Just do well.